Steve, it's been a positive pre-season for all sections of Richmond so far. How excited are you to see everyone back playing rugby?
I think it's fantastic. We really missed the whole club feeling last season, and it's been fantastic over the last 2 weekends that we've had not only the first team playing and training, but the Vikings, the Saxons, the Normans, the Jutes are back. The women's had their first game, and on the last 2 Sundays, all our Armenian youth players. So from a club perspective, it's been brilliant.
We've seen great playing numbers at senior men's and women's training. You mentioned the Armenian youth as well. That must be a really positive and motivating sign for the whole club.
I think people weren't quite sure what was going to happen sort of after COVID, and many people not being able to be involved for the last 15 months. But 2 Saturdays ago, we had 84 adult male players playing across the 4 teams we put out. As you say, the women have got really good numbers at their training sessions, and certainly the last 2 Sundays, the minis and youth numbers are where they were before the pandemic. So for us, as a club, that's really encouraging.
Off the back of really 2 important pre-season wins, our men's first 15 kick off their championship season this Saturday away against Cornish Pirates. Can you sort of touch on the mood, the excitement amongst the group?
I think there's I think the mood is really positive. To come on top of both Ampthill and London Scottish was really pleasing, and I think there were aspects of both performances that the players were really pleased with. So there's nothing like a win to sort of lift the mood. So I think there's a huge amount of excitement going into the game this weekend, and we're going to work hard this week to make sure we prepare as well as we possibly can.
Last season, we obviously rotated the squad quite a bit throughout the mini championship seasons. Can you sort of touch on how the squad will be selected this season?
Yeah, no, we knew last season there wasn't going to be any relegation. It was going to be a short season, and I very much use that as an opportunity, to give lots of players, particularly those who are new to the championship, an opportunity to play at this particular level, because without a doubt, it is a step up from National 1 or from University Rugby. This season I won't be doing that. Although there isn't relegation, we will be picking the strongest team. We want to go out there and win as many games as we possibly can this season. So, the players are going to have to fight week in, week out to gain the place, and if they gain that place, they have to fight week in, week out to secure it. So that'll be very different this year.
I know there's been a lot of positive discussions over the last few weeks around the aims of this season for the first team. Can you sort of touch on those?
Yeah, I think we've shown in our first 2 games that we very much changed our style of play. This has been very much led by both the players and the coaches coming together. We want to play a version of the game that is going to be really enjoyable for the players, enjoyable to train, but also enjoyable for our spectators. So I think that's one of the aims, to adapt how we're going to play. But at the end of the day, it's about results, and we want to finish well up that table. I noticed in a certain blog that they've got a lot of people who are thinking that we're going to be sort of holding the rest of the table up. Well, that simply isn't what's going to be the case. We're going to work incredibly hard to gain those wins and move ourselves up that table.
As mentioned, that challenge starts on Saturday down in Cornwall. It's obviously a really, really tricky place to go and play initially. What are you expecting from them?
I'm expecting an absolute war. Cornish Pirates are one of the strongest teams in this league, and particularly at home. We know it's going to be really difficult. So yeah, and our guys are fully prepared for that. But I think we also have to remind our players that it wasn't so long ago, a few years ago, we went down there and beat Cornish Pirates. And that's very much the aim. This weekend. They've had a couple of warm-up games, played well. We've had a couple of warm-up games, so there's everything to play for, and I'm sure it'll be really exciting.
You mentioned preparation. That's obviously going to be key for this match. It's a long journey down and back. Can you sort of touch on how we will prepare in that instance? Yeah, no,
you can't go down to Penzance on the same day and play. So we'll travel down the night before. Unfortunately, Cornwall is still full in terms of accommodation, so we'll stay in Plymouth the night before, but we'll get there in plenty of time on Saturday for a 1:30 kickoff. And without doubt, it's a long way there and a long way back. But we've got to do that sometime. Some people might say it's better to do it in September than maybe January or February. The pitch will be firm. Hopefully the sun will be out, and I think that'll suit what we're trying to do. The guys are, they know what the trip's about. We've prepared them, and we won't be using that as an excuse. We've got to go down there and perform for 80 minutes on the field.
We're obviously still operating under this COVID bubble in the championship. Can you sort of touch on how impressed you've been by the coaches, the players and the support staff around this, and the challenge that it has been for everyone?
Yeah, I mean, I've got a huge amount of admiration for all of our players and coaches, you know, and how they've dealt with the situation because, you know, unlike society at large, we're still under an awful lot of COVID regulations. You know, indoors, you know, we have to have masks on, you know, our guys have to be tested several times a week just to attend training and to play. And, you know, and all of our players, you know, whilst they see their friends swanning around with much more freedom, they can't do that here. You know, we've got a bus journey, which will be best part of 6 hours there, 6 hours back. The guys got to have a mask on. You know, so that's nothing really to look forward to, but it is necessary because, you know, the last thing we want to do is to get an outbreak of COVID in the group, which will be, you know, disastrous for us for games coming forward. So, yeah, I've got a huge amount of admiration for the guys who have stuck to those regulations, you know, for the many months that we've had to do it.
And just finally, looking at the championship as a whole, there's obviously some great rivalries, huge blockbusters to look forward to. What do you love personally about the championship, and do you feel it still holds a really special place in English rugby?
I mean, I think it's a really important part of English rugby. You know, I mean, it is the league that's run by the RFU. It's their top league. And you know, whilst there are questions at the moment about, you know, what's its going to be direction going forward, I mean, you know, there's some fantastic matches we've got this season. You know, we didn't get a chance to play London Scottish last year, but we've got 2 league matches here, you know, in the season to come. We've got the opportunity to go against Ealing home and away. You know, and Ealing are very much the sort of everyone's favourite to go up to the Premiership. You know, the squad that they've recruited is of Premiership standard. So, you know, for our players to tilt their lance against, you know, such calibre players, I think it's a great opportunity, and we've got nothing to lose. So no, there's some cracking fixtures along the way, and I'm just really pleased that, you know, all our supporters are going to be able to watch our home games and enjoy them rather than having to watch them sort of via their computers as they did last year.
Steve, it's been great chatting. Thanks for your time and good luck for the weekend.
Thanks very much.